The market for Rolex watches is constantly in flux. While coveted models like the Submariner and Daytona trade at sky-high prices on the secondary market, hidden treasures lie in wait for connoisseurs with a tighter budget. There are several Rolex models available at more affordable prices, yet still offering the quality, design and craftsmanship that has made the Rolex name so famous. While no Rolex can be described as cheap, in any sense of the word, it is perfectly reasonable to seek out the cheapest Rolex on the vintage and pre-owned market today, because expert valuations of different Rolex models of different release years can vacillate considerably. Attaching a specific price tag to any specific model can be a bit tricky. However, it's noteworthy that even the cheapest Rolex watch will cost $5,000 to $3,000. Rolex Air King 40 reference 1269 00001. The Rolex Air King has come a long way, evolving to embrace a variety of design elements, movement features, and dial colours since its introduction during World War II. However, most of these watches stress the clean and simple style of the original Rolex Air King, with its distinctive and prominent minute scale for easy aviation time readings. Steel Rolex Air King models, such as the iconic feature cases of much-lauded Oyster steel. Specially developed by Rolex, Oyster steel falls into the elite 904L category of steel alloy. 904L steel meets the stringent standards of the high-tech, aerospace and chemical sectors. Extremely resilient and impervious to corrosion, Oyster steel is also exceptionally beautiful when properly finished and polished. This watch has price tag of $6,000. Rolex Datejust 36 reference 126234, introduced in 1945 to coincide with the 40th anniversary of Rolex. The Datejust revolutionized the industry with its feature complication, a movement that drives the accurate change of a date display automatically at midnight. Other distinctive elements of the Rolex Datejust include the Cyclops magnifying lens that makes the date display more legible. In addition to these iconic features, this Datejust has Rolex's signature fluted bezel, which began as a functional waterproofing measure, but endures as an aesthetic mark of distinction. In this case, the bezel is composed of pure white gold. The striking silver dial on this watch has a sunray finish that shimmers with delicate light reflections, thanks to Rolex's unique combination of masterful brushing techniques and physical vapor deposition. This timepiece has a price range of $5,000 to $8,000. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36 reference 1260 000003. After introducing its revolutionary waterproof Oyster case in 1926 and patenting its revolutionary Perpetual self-winding rotor in 1931, Rolex brought the two together for its highly sought-after Rolex Oyster Perpetual line in 1933. The result was a highly durable, hermetically sealed watch that never requires manual winding as long as it is regularly worn. The key design element of the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36 has to be its brilliant dial of bright blue, covered by a polished stainless steel twin-lock crown and a scratch-resistant dome of sapphire crystal. This dial is augmented by a finish that incorporates tiny engravings which refract and diffuse light. As a result of this refraction and diffusion, the dial produces a subtle, pleasing glow that shifts with the movement of the wearer's wrist. The chromolite display of this watch boosts legibility with long-lasting blue luminescence and polished hands that include hour and minute hands with a price tag of $3,000. Rolex Explorer reference 124270. The elegantly simple design of the Rolex Explorer stresses easy legibility and durable construction. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the Rolex watchmakers responsible for this line drew their inspiration from Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay's successful expedition to the summit of Mount Everest. Its release coincided and commemorated their historic 1953 ascent. Establishing the classic definition of the line over the years, the initial Rolex Explorer model featured a stainless steel case and a black dial with signature 3, 6 and 9 numeric indices. Considered a return to form for the Rolex Explorer, the release of this model in 2021 was notable in many ways. First and foremost, watch aficionados welcomed the re-emergence of the Explorer's original 36mm case size after producing the model in an oversized 39mm case for more than a decade. With 19mm lugs and bracelet end links, rather than the 20mm lugs and bracelet end links of all other Explorer iterations, this reference gives the watch a tapered profile that is unique in the line. Furthermore, this watch features Rolex's patented chronology escapement and a blue parachrome hairspring, making it the most efficient Explorer to date. This beauty has a price tag of $7,000. Rolex Milos reference 1164's debuting in 1957, the Rolex Milos bears a name that makes a portmanteau of the French word for 1,000, mille, and a measurement unit of magnetic flux density, Gauss. This name pays testament to this watch's extraordinary ability to withstand high magnetic fields. Rolex created the Milos to meet the needs of scientists, engineers, and other professionals who work in laboratories, power plants, and other extraordinary industrial environments. Rolex released the Ref 1164-00GV, along with the standard to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Milos line in 2007. On the Ref 1164-00GV 0001, Rolex accentuated the playful styling of the original Milos lightning bolt hand-fitted model, with an extra application of colour thanks to its green-tinted crystal. This crystal casts overtones of Rolex's signature brand colour over the Milos classic black dial. This watch has a price tag of $8,000, Rolex Explorer 2 reference 1657-00001. The Rolex Explorer has been the watch of choice for mountaineers and other adventurers since the debut of the line in 1953. In 1971, Rolex reinvented the Explorer line with the Rolex Explorer 2, which catered to the specific demands of cave explorers, spelunkers, who could benefit from a highly illuminated 24-hour scale dial display. Beyond its dial modifications, the Rolex Explorer 2 is substantially larger than the original Rolex Explorer, with a case size of 42mm rather than 36mm. It also has a fixed 24-hour bezel and includes an additional orange dial hand with a prominent arrow that points to the 24-hour scale. Due to its luminous white dial, this model of the Rolex Explorer 2 is often called the Polar Explorer. This Explorer has a price tag of $9,000. Rolex Explorer 2 reference 2265-70001. The question has been asked many different times by many different people. Why are Rolex watches so expensive? Well, the short answer, according to Bezel, is making a good watch isn't cheap. Every Rolex is crafted by exceptional watchmakers with an attention to detail and an eye for perfection, with the highest quality materials to promote extreme durability and water-resistant capabilities. For all of these reasons and more, Rolex designs timeless and iconic watches built to last a lifetime. This gives many different Rolex models tremendous value, despite their often rather hefty price tags. In fact, even the Rolex Explorer 2, with a price range of $10,000 to $12,000, is relatively affordable in light of its uniquely large 42mm case, multi-time zone functionality, Rolex Datejust 41, reference 1263000017. Although the Rolex Datejust 41 doesn't necessarily innovate the Datejust line with any substantial movement or profile changes, it boasts a range of features that have been recognized as iconic elements of the luxury Rolex experience. Of course, like all Datejust watches, it has the standard date window, with its Cyclops magnifying lens near the 3 o'clock position of the dial. It also has multi-time zone capabilities thanks to its twin-lock crown, but the most striking aspect of the Rolex Datejust 41 has to be its bright, azuro blue dial. This watch has a price tag of $7,000, Rolex Submariner reference 14060, the first watch designed for water resistance at 100 meters beneath the surface. The Rolex Submariner was a sensation upon its release in 1953. Since then, it has maintained a reputation as the most beloved luxury dive watch line in the history of underwater exploration. With its iconic black dial and its clean, minimalist aesthetic, this watch embodies much of the classic style of the original Submariner, but this 1990 model features a significantly larger case size of 40mm, offering improved legibility and reflecting modern consumer preferences. This watch has price tag of $7,500,